So I just want to know what you guys would kind of say to this, or what you make of this, or if you've even experienced people like this where they kind of pick and choose and all this. And I wonder if it's coming from a false sense of security, like they can't commit to a religion, so they're kind of just picking and picking and picking. All right, I got to say, about to hop into a little discussion. First things first, don't make sure you like that video, hit a little exit full screen, scroll a bit, like it, and full screen it back up. You feel me? So recently, I've just been getting, I don't want to say bombarded because it's only been two people, but I play Clash Royale. One of the guys in my clans, he said, add me on Snap, right? Added him on Snap. We get to talking, whatever. I see you smoking, whatever. I said his bong looked cool, right? And he said, oh, you smoke? I was like, nah, I don't smoke, but I can appreciate a good piece of art, right? And he's like, yeah, I know smoke is bad for me, whatever, drink is bad for me, whatever, and I feel bad about it. I was like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. We started talking about his job. I started talking about the program I'm in and how I think God put me on the path. And he's like, you know what? You not smoking, saying God put you on the path. I've been trying to get closer to God, turn away from sin. I could just feel all the darkness in my body at all given points in time. And I really know that it's not good for me. And I want to turn away from it and run closer to God and whatever. So I start talking to him about God. I start putting him on some game, right? I start putting him on to the sermons I be watching. Tell him start with John, the gospel, and then just kind of go forward from there, and you'll kind of get the brief understanding of how things work. And then he starts talking about the fact that he thinks all religions are kind of viable, in terms like he can't commit to just one. He wants to dabble in all of them. And he mentions, he be going to the mosque with his Islamic friend. I think they go to mosques. And then, if somebody invited him to the synagogue, he'd go with his Jewish friend, whatever. And I said, that's fine, right? You get invited, you can go out of a sign of good faith. But as long as you're not actively practicing that other religion and blaspheming the one true God, I say that's where the issues start coming into play, right? If somebody invites me to whatever, right? You wouldn't invite me to your Eid festival, like where you're about to just eat up and stuff. I don't think I gotta be Muslim to do that, right? But if you want to invite me just to try to whatever, like I'll go. I'll be a good friend. I'll go. I'll accept your invitation. We'll go have a great time, right? Because I know I'm going to be around a whole bunch of other religious people who aren't going to lead me into some negative thing, right? But I'm not going to go out there and claim, yup, Allah is God, Jesus is a prophet and didn't rise from the dead and wasn't the Messiah and all the other stuff, right? But I'll go out of being a good friend for you. And I'll let you know that before I go, that I'm not going to do this. Don't have your elders talking to me about becoming whatever, saying we ain't seen you before. You must, like, don't have nothing to happen. If you invited me just to go, I'm going to go, right? So I told him I can understand that. But it becomes an issue when you start picking and choosing. And I told him that's like defeating the entire purpose of religion as a whole. The entire purpose of religion as a whole is I acknowledge this God or this group of gods that is true, that have the path to, well, that clearly explicated, how we came into being, things that happened, whatever, however they want to say things or whatever. And then why we worship them or don't, or basically what the purpose of life is, what you're getting to life, right? But I acknowledge these gods are true and I follow these gods because they are true. That's the purpose of religion. I don't think I can go around and say, yup, Yahweh is real, Allah is real, Zeus is real, Poseidon's real, Venus is real, Mercury's real, Ra is real, Vishnu is real, Buddha's God too. Like, you just can't go around and claim every single set, because you just look like a goofy. Like, you can't go to the hood and wear every single color, because you're gonna have beef with every single hood. That's just not how that works, right? And I guess you could switch, oh, I'm going here this one time, but you're gonna get caught lacking one time. Then somebody's gonna say, hey, he's outside, he's wearing something that he's not supposed to be wearing, and we seen that. What's up with that? Because it's wrong. Regardless of if you think it's fine, that you can dip and dab in every different set, whatever. That's not how that works, right? That doesn't work on religion. It doesn't work on real life applications. You can't be out here saying, yep, I work at this job, I work at this job, I work at this job, I work at this job. Because the job's gonna say, no, we want you working 40 hours a week here. We don't want you 8 days here, or 8 hours a week here, 8 hours a week there, 8 hours a week over there, and 8 hours a week around the corner, right? We need you 40 hours a week here. You got to have all your time invested into this one company. If you can't commit all to us, how are we going to commit all to you and give you a salary and give you every good thing, right? God's saying, if you ain't all into me, how can I give you everything I have to offer you in love? because it's also not about the relationship aspect. It's about having that, or it's not about the religion. It's about the relationship aspect that we're supposed to have with God, right? So he's telling me all this stuff, and I just agreed, disagreed in terms of I told him what he needed to know about Jesus. I said, yo, bro, while you're getting right on that path, while your faith is getting built, right? Just put all your faith in Jesus. One, that all he did absolved everything you could ever do on the cross. You can't sin your way out of it. You can't sin your way into it, whatever. Or, well, you sin your way into it because you died for something, but you can't sin your way out of it. There's never anything too bad enough. You just got to believe that and start your path, right? That's it. And have faith in him that he'll take you from where you need to go to where he wants you to go. And then, that's when he started talking about the I'm in every different religion type of thing. And then I'm also talking to one of my other friends slash associates slash, I don't know what I would call bro, right? But talking to him, he's asking me about the gym or what. How do we start this conversation? Oh, he was asking me about my schoolwork going on, and I was like, I just got mad reading. I read slow. He's like, oh, chat GPT it or whatever while you're in the gym. Chat GPT it into the audio file. Put the audio file on when you're in the gym. I'm like, when I'm in the gym, I usually listen to sermons, and this is something that I told him before. I've thrown that religion card out there just to poke around with it, whatever. And he said, oh yeah, me too. I listen to Mike Todd, and he said, I'm not really religious, but I like Mike Todd. But he's kind of straight away. I don't know nothing about Mike Todd. I don't want to slander his name. Should I have said his name? I might believe his name. Probably not. I'm not gonna lie. That's some extra work I don't feel like doing. And maybe we'll react to Mike Todd. But I'll definitely watch the video because he sent me a couple videos. It's because I asked him. I was like, yo, put me on. Let me see. And yeah, so we were talking about that. And then I'm like, so if you're not really religious, why do you listen to sermons if you don't mind me asking? And he starts talking about, I believe that there's God, whatever. All this type of stuff. He thinks the teachings are all different. You can pick and choose. He doesn't like the fact that the language has been changed and that there's books missing from books like the Bible. He mentioned something, the green emerald, the emerald stones. He mentioned wanting to read the emerald stones. And he said before he died, he wanted to translate it. I'm still testing him now, so that's why my brain's kind of scattered. Because I'm looking at the alerts pop up on my phone from what he's saying as we're talking about it. Because I was gonna record a reaction, but then I kind of got into this, and I'm thinking I see the correlation between both my friends, and I wanted to ask you guys, kind of, what rebuttals do we have to this? I mean, not in terms of I don't know what to say. I would feel comfortable breaking it down, especially because he said he believes he rose from the dead, but he starts bringing up medicine and how it's like, yeah, it's like when they tell doctors, yep, you got to take the nutrition class. It's a 20-minute nutrition class, and then they're kind of done for the rest of their career, when it's a whole bunch of stuff that would be helpful to know to the average everyday person who be going to the doctor, getting checkups, might have an underlying illness, might have illnesses in the future, and they want to know how to prevent it and taking steps before this junk even happens, right? But they're not teaching that type of thing. And even then, I was talking about, I think the cure for cancer, I know the cure for cancer and AIDS and all that has already been out there. They just be silencing it, killing the people for profits, right? And he's like, oh yeah, me too. And I said, it's the same kind of thing with like evolution and all that. He says, yep, I think evolution is all God too, and God knows that, and we don't fully know that, but God knows, right? And I said, yeah, that's a good enough answer for me, right? He knows that the evolution is half fake. That's enough. He trusts in God more than evolution. Good. But more on that later. Not in this video. I just meant like, I'll talk to him later about that. And so I said, the evidence though for Christianity at least is it wins every time. And he's like, yeah, when it comes to a book that's talking about allegory and principles, of course it's going to win every time. But I was talking about the historicity of it, fact that it's thousands of years, 40 different plus authors that never contradicted itself once, the fact that there's the eyewitnesses accounts, all this stuff and all these things, and it just wins every time. You can't knock it down. And then he says something, I bring up Jesus rise from the dead. I was like, people seeing Jesus rise from the dead, which is the whole purpose, right? If he didn't do that, then there's nothing. And he says, I believe that he rose from the dead, but not the way, or not for the reason the Bible says. And now he's trying to explain that. But really the point of this video, I don't think it's really going to get into a point where I got to discuss the rest of what we're going to talk about, because it's just going to be a whole lot of skepticism here, skepticism there. He said he believed Jesus rose from the dead, not the reason the Bible said it. And he also claimed that he's a self-proclaimed agnostic, but he believes in God. So I don't think this conversation between you and me, viewer, is going to go any further than this, because I don't think that there's going to be anything worthwhile from this. But from both of those stories, right, from my associate and my other friend who I met on Clash. You know, they say, oh, we take and pick and choose things from all these different religions and type of thing. And I don't think it's the reason. The first guy also mentions praying. He prays, right? I said, pray that Jesus reveals himself to you and tells him that that he's the truth. He's like, mm. And this guy too, my associate, I'm going to tell him like, yo, bro, pray that Jesus reveals himself to you and says that he is the only way, the truth, the light. And he said before he died, he wanted to learn Hebrew and Arabic and read the Bible for himself and all that. I said, bro, you might die tomorrow. You ain't got time to do all that. You know what I'm saying? He said, I don't want to believe blindly. I said, blessed are those who have believed and not seen. And I said, that's maybe not be the best justification, but it's good enough for every Christian out there. It's good enough for Peter, or not Peter, Paul. Even though, well, Jesus made him blind, so he didn't really see, but you know what I'm saying? He felt it, kind of thing. But yeah, so I just want to know what you guys would kind of say to this, or what you make of this, or if you've even experienced people like this where they kind of pick and choose and all this. And I wonder if it's coming from a false sense of security, like they can't commit to a religion, so they're kind of just, you know, picking and picking and picking, trying to cover all their bases, kind of thing, rather than I put all my eggs in one basket. My basket fell because my basket was fake. It was a fall away breakaway basket that actors use. You know, so I wonder if it's coming from a thing of that, or like if you guys know, have any suggestions, have any stories, whatever you want to do, put in the comments. I just wanted to be on here and say that because these are real people that's out there. And after watching the videos, like what heaven's like and what hell is like, I can't imagine these two people specifically. One of them I really care about. The other one, you know, I care about him. You know, we just met the Clash guy. You know, Clash guy, we ain't tight like that, but I care about him. You know what I'm saying? He's a very cool dude. I can tell, you know, he's a loyal dude in terms of we got a little bond going on and he respects that and we're cool in that way. And my associate, I really care about, bro. And after watching the heaven and the hell video, I would want both of them to go to heaven. I wouldn't want I don't even want anybody. I want everybody to go to heaven, and I want nobody to suffer in hell, right? But specifically these two people who, you know, that door's unlocked. It's not God doesn't exist and I hate God, right? It's not that. It's they're on the edge of the diving board. They just ain't trying to dive in the pool. And I'm sitting in here like, the water's great, guys. And they're just looking at me like, but you're on the diving board. You climbed up the diving board, acting like you gonna get in the pool. But when Jesus comes, he gonna snatch everybody that's out the pool, not the man on the diving board. So jump in, even if that's you. All right, that's gonna be the end of the video. Hope you guys have yourselves fantastic rest of your day. Peace.